Yeah, no, I love the NFL, man. I grew up watching baseball, like
Mm.
and football and basketball, but like baseball was my favorite. But now it's like it's I just every NFL team I want to watch their game. Like that's the difference between baseball. Like baseball, I watch my favorite team. The NFL, I watch every game.
Ah, so you're like into it big time.
Yeah, like how kids are into gaming now. I guess like I'm getting old. Like being into sports is an old person thing.
This is what they say. You kind of live through the athletes. You basically, live that experience of what they went through. So do you collect cards at all?
No, no, I didn't do any of
What?
that. That's like my dad's generation. That's like grandfather generation, man. I didn't do none of that stuff.
All right. Well, I feel bad because I collect cards for sure, and I have baseball, basketball, um, some hockey cards, like even from the 90s and early 2000s. I have those cards. They're
That's
not worth
cool, man.
much,
You got
but
well, yeah.
there's
Anything hockey's not worth much, but that's pretty cool.
I don't know, but you should collect some, man. It's or I don't know. Are you a collector of anything?
When I was a kid, dude, I collected some weird fucking shit. When I was a kid, I collected bottle caps, and
Yeah.
I also collected balloons.
Mm.
I would literally get balloons, I'd blow them up, and I would keep them on the top bunk of my bed while I fell asleep on the futon on the bottom bunk.
Damn, sounds like you were gonna be a killer clown or something.
Yeah, it sounds like that. Like I don't know what that phase in my life was, but there had to be something sexual about that. Like there,
Mm.
there had to be some demons in my closet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm surprised I
yeah.
don't have like humans in my closet now in my apartment.
Well, the mind blocks out the most traumatic experiences and put it in your body, right? And all of a sudden you live in the way you live in, and you're like, why the fuck am I like this? Oh, it's because that one time I tried to forget what happened in the basement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing though. I don't think I have one of those, which makes
Mm.
my life even worse. It's like, at
Mm.
least I could have an excuse. I remember my
Right.
cousins would be like, "Oh, dude, I really hope you're on drugs because if you're not, you're fucked up." It's just like, damn, dude, you're right. I don't do
Well,
drugs. I wasn't touched. I don't know what the hell, but there's something wrong with me in the center
well,
of my
maybe
brain.
that's why you're a comedian, or why you focus on the laughter of life, because you can look at hard moments without experiencing them and still kind of have some empathy or somewhat find it cynical. I don't know, man. Like, mental health is one thing, and then the idea of understanding your experience is another. So it's like, I don't know. I don't want to definitely say that if somebody have been through that, that's I don't know what that's like. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you focus on something, there's something there. There's something there, good or bad, possibly. But I don't know, if you've been that way for most of your life, then yeah, you probably got something going on in there.
Yeah, it's definitely that's a good point. Like whether it's good or bad or whatever, if you're spending a lot of time focusing on one thing all the time throughout your day, throughout your life, months, years,
Yeah,
obviously
you're
that's having
addicted.
a it's having a
Yeah,
significant impact on your life.
yeah, man. It's so weird how we kind of came across each other too, on a platform called Wisdom. But it's a whole conversation about whatever you want.
Yeah, Wisdom's I mean, it's not the best app in the world at all, but
Hmm.
it is cool to meet some different types of people, man. What is like I'm looking at your name, right? I got you as Cosmonaut Palmer.
Yo.
And is that like your, because before you came on here, I'm like, I've heard Cosmonaut before. I know what that is. So I looked it up and it was a Russian astronaut. And I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no way this guy's
Yeah.
like the blackest Russian astronaut of all time. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's why another name where it's called, my other name, or my known global, I guess, internet name, is only Black Cosmonaut.
Are
And
you a Russian astronaut, bro?
so I'm gonna say yes, just for the argument's sake, but no for the literal sake. So I worked in network engineering and worked in science, computer science, and cyber infrastructure and stuff like that for many years. I've been to NASA down in Florida, kind of worked on some algorithms for some companies I used to work for. But all in all, I've been into space, love the idea of it, traveling, and the idea of being a spaceman didn't come to me because I wanted to be an astronaut or anything like that. Specifically, I loved what the Russians did of them being the first in orbital space historically.
Yeah, they
right?
were, and they sent the dog in space.
Right. So with that, the first orbital space, I'm a spiritual guy. The first orbital space is really your.
Oh jeez. Oh no, he cut out. He was doing. That was such a good thing too. What he was talking about. What was this? Boom. Oh, dude, this pause feature on OBS is a lifesaver.
Nice.
What happened?
Did I chip out?
Yeah, I guess the Russian spies came after you.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But let me say it again for them real quick. So, Only Black Cosmonaut is one dark universe. I'm all about going inward, exploring yourself, being that inner space archaeologist. And since the Russians were the first in orbital space, I want you to be the first in your own inner space, your own orbital space. And I represent that. I'm into mindfulness, movement, and meditation. Been an engineer for 20 years. It's just really all about that self-exploration. You know, we might be in our end times. I don't know if we didn't die out when the Black Plague hit, and you know, when all those major events in history happened, then we still might have a chance. And right now, we're looking kind of fucked up as a society. You know, like I love people, but I hate humans, and we got to figure this shit out.
I remember that was one of the few things we talked about when we were talking last time, where it's like, I think I say the opposite thing, where it's like, I love humans. I just hate when they start acting like people.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Now that we're here on your platform, why do you think people are better? Why do you think humans are better than people?
Because self-awareness is a weird thing, because one, we probably have the best self-awareness of any known species. But two, I don't think we're the only species that has it. I think a lot of scientists and people who study animals have proven that elephants and hippos and some other, octopus, maybe not octopuses, but even though they have a higher intelligence, but they found that there's a lot of fucking animals that have self-awareness. But I think humans obviously would be number one, top tier. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just something, it's twofold. It's like, when humans are just acting like a regular species, I kind of get it. You know, that's what, you try to eat, try to drink water, you try to breathe, you try to get a shelter, you try to start your lawnmower, apparently, in the background. You got the snowblower going.
Yeah, no, it's snowing up here in Colorado.
Dude's eating Campbell's fucking.
Yeah,
dude's eating Kellogg
I'm all
Frosted
snugged
Flakes.
up, bro. I'm all snugged up. I'm looking through the window as the sun rises.
Oh, dude. Wait, where are you? Wait, where did you say that you're at right now?
In Colorado.
Oh, dude, do you have a fireplace going?
No, not yet. It's not that cold. It's early in the morning. The beauty of not having humidity out here is that when the sun rises, you could feel like direct heat, you know?
Oh, man, you're living the life, dude.
Sure.
You get to wake up and look at the sun. You're living the life.
I got the mountains right west, so when the sun rises east, I get to see it. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. But back to your loving humans, hating people.
Yeah, to make it to fucking nip this, it's twofold, because one, it's definitely me. Like, I'm definitely unhappy with something, so it's definitely personally my fault to a degree. But it's also like, if I go to a grocery store, man, like, how do you just stop in the middle of the fucking lane with a shopping cart? You know what I mean?
Because
and if I'm driving down the road, how do you blow your stop sign to cut in front of me? And then continue to drive slow.
Yeah,
it's like,
how do you get in the left lane and go slow?
It's like,
dude, no.
So it's like you're a human, but now you're acting like a person who has a Twitter bio, and they're telling people like, I'm this, I'm this. It's just like, just die, please, just whatever fiery death is everything. I just
burn it all.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
No, I think so. That's a powerful space. I don't necessarily think I need to give my opinion on it. I was just hearing it. It's definitely like I see it, you know, like you're focused on what might be, you know, like the negative aspects, or not negative, the contrasting aspects of people. the things, our daily habits, and how that shit is just like, are you even thinking right now? And I would agree that's there. I definitely talk about it a lot. I'm like the most pessimistic optimist you might know, like I'll find the most, the pessimistic thing to say before I become optimistic about it or happy or whatever. But for me, with the people and human thing, it's pretty much the opposite. I look at how, as people, when we came together with cultures and acceptance on some level outside of the isms, the race, the this and that, we were able to find a better way to survive, not just like carnally or savagely, where we're tribing up and, going over to this guy, stabbing him with a spear. Like we found a more articulate way to do all of that, I guess. And in that space, outside of Bezos trying to get out of the planet or into the earth, he's building bunkers or he's taking his penis-looking spaceship into space. Like we all we have is each other. So before this thing drowns us or whatever happens on this planet, like the human nature is too natural in a sense where it's given, where as a people we can possibly do better before it's all over. I'm not saying save ourselves, because I don't have enough money to think like that. I just more think like it's just do better while we're here. And that's going to take you being a person other than like, that's just my human nature, But that's how I look at it. And I think we're both right, because get out of the fucking speeding lane. I am definitely that guy in the car. No, I'm dead, man. Like, that's probably like one of my pet peeves in regards to driving.
I just don't. It doesn't make any sense. It's like I just don't. There's no why. It's not a safer lane to be in. It's not a driver instructor only lane.
No, it even says that there's certain highways in America that would tell you that this is the passing lane. They won't call it the speeding lane like everybody else uses it for. They'll say it's the passing lane. Don't come in this lane unless you want to pass. Simple.
It's simple.
It's not even forcing you to do anything other than to read the rules. And people are like, nah, I'll just be over here doing 40 in the 75. What?
Dude, if you're in the slow lane or the turn-off lane or whatever.
Right, the furthest right lane, maybe, or the right lane.
Dude, slam on the brakes. Go negative. Go in reverse. I don't give a fuck.
No, you get a ticket for that, too. You get a ticket going lower than the speed limit.
Yes, but I'll look at you and I'll be like, thank you for doing it in that lane, sir. Thank you.
Grandma, right?
Yeah,
grandpa.
I don't care. But for some, like, it just, dude, I don't understand. I don't get it. To this day, I do not understand it.
Yeah, no, it's that's again. So okay, look at that. Is that human or people to you when you see that habit right there? Is that people or human? And I guess for you, that would be people, right?
Because humans. Oh, I guess when you're a human, everything outside of technology. Maybe it was the tech, because you were saying, like, we started doing things in a more sophisticated way or whatever.
Right.
Is that making things better or worse?
Well, here we are, man. We're using this technology to kind of talk and meet, and we've never met. You came from Adam, I came from Adam, but we don't know each other from Adam. Like it's a sense of what is our purpose other than to continue to connect. Like we came from, like, dude, I have never met you in my life, ever. Never even thought to need to meet you. But here we are talking shit on a Monday. For what? For the only, well, not maybe the only reason, for this given understanding of the reason, because we wanted to. That's it, because we wanted to. What it means is whatever the fuck it means. But simply we wanted to. That to me is people. Humans, I don't know. Humans naturally connect, but I don't know if we're all humans, man. That's a whole nother story. There's some aliens out here for
spending too much time in space, my man.
I know. I'm thinning out, man. I got to work out every day, but yeah, I got space brain.
That's a good point, because it is people, or whatever you want to, like, honestly call it. It's us. Where,
something's different.
Yeah, because I remember not remember. There's so many people will be like, "Oh, social media and the internet is just a huge fail." Like enough time has gone by where it just shows how much of a failure it is. It's like, dude,
Hmm.
the only people who think it's a failure are the people who are having a bad time using it. Like,
And you know what that highlights? It highlights that the internet exposes us more than kind of makes us anything. Because if they're having a problem with it, they're the ones being exposed.
now what do you mean by
You know.
exposed?
So it's a technology, hence a device, right? Something external to our quote unquote space and time. Here we are. We can touch it, feel it, smell it, whatever. But then we implement some type of action out of it that allows us to learn through it. That learning is a sense of exposing what we can and cannot comprehend, do, share. So if you have a platform like Instagram, who TikTok, and you can just say and do whatever
TikTok.
you want,
TikTok.
you you can say and do whatever you want and not necessarily think about it. You know, eventually that's going to expose your quote unquote lack of thinking, or if you are thinking about it, then it shows the importance you took into your work. Like, to me, all this social media shit is just exposing us or me or the person who wants to be seen. Like, you post it, it's free. You download the app for free, and then you put your shit on there for free. And then there's a turnaround where it's like, hey, by the way, you do this often enough, we'll pay you. And then there's another concept that, hey, on top of we'll pay you to do it often enough, there's a way you can do it often enough to get paid a certain amount. That's exposing you. That's letting you know can you or cannot do it. It's not there doing this shit, and then we get into it, and then it's like, oh my God, why am I on this site? I don't know. Who typed it in? Okay, ads are something different.
Ah, man, you cut out again. Yeah, I'm here. That was a quick one, man. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying with the social media. Yeah, that's a more in detailed way of thinking about it. Because the way I was thinking about it is one simplistic because I'm very simple, but also just at the end of the day, there a ton of people talk about how much they hate Facebook or they hate Instagram or they hate Twitter, they hate TikTok, YouTube, everything. Hate it, hate it, hate it. And it's kind of like the that old saying where you can please 99 customers, but it's the one customer that has a bad experience who will let everyone know. It's just like, dude, we're the ones using the platforms.
Yep.
It's us.
Yep.
Like the social media. It's kind of like it's not the device. It's not the gambling. It's not the cigarettes. It's you, the person, because in science or math, there's variables, right? There's independent and dependent variables. If you have, say, 10 people who use social media and 5 of them are having a fine time, they're not like using it way too much, they're not hurting themselves because they're using it emotionally or mentally. You have another 3 people who they're using it way too much, and then 2 people who are like just saying insanely vulgar things and getting in trouble or whatever on it or whatever. Like, it's the independent variable is social media. It's the same accounts for all 10 people. It's the people themselves that are the difference.
The app is free, bro. The app is free, and you load your content on there for free. No one tells you to do that. And so if you get a certain feedback from doing something that you felt you authentically did, you're going to go deep inside whatever that means to you and try to do it again or find a way to continue getting that. I guess they call it now the dopamine effect, but it's still exposing you. And it can do it in a good way, because when it works in your favor, you get a viral video or you get 1 million followers or you find your tribe or however it works out for your intent. You're the happiest motherfucker on the planet. And it started free. You know, if these companies started charging you to buy their app, everybody will flip the fuck out. Oh, what? This is not constitutional. Wait a minute. They still have to load the servers and still load the contents and the applications to make it so that you can even get your shit on there. You know? So I don't know, man. It's fun to think about it in different ways. I hate Snapchat. You know, I don't use it. and I don't hate it because it did something to me. I just think it's a sucky platform. But if they would say, hey, we'd like to sponsor you to post a video once a week, and we'll pay you $100 a month or $100 a week to do it, we might have a conversation.
Oh, dude, I'm running to that app. I've never clicked the yellow ghost faster in my life.
You know what I mean? So it's really about that sense of exposure, that sense of self, or that sense of who we are. And when people stop in the middle, you made a very valid point, when people stop in the middle of the grocery aisle like that, or they leave their cart in the middle of the aisle and walk away from it and then look at you like, oh, excuse me, that's my...
Oh,
they
dude.
know they don't own the grocery store, right?
Dude,
they know that.
Dude.
But yet,
I don't mean to like branch off, but I'm driving, right? And I made I didn't make an error. I made this consciously because I kind of had time to kill. I got in the lane where it's between the parking lot and the front of the stores. And it's like a strip mall. So I'm driving down this lane and there's like, a fucking Marshall's, Home Goods, and a Whole Foods and all these other stores and shit, right? But the reason you don't drive down that lane is because every half a second, people are going to be either walking into the store or out of the store. So you got to let them go with your car.
Yeah.
So I'm outside of a Target, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see the guy coming from the parking lot with like 8 carts. He's the guy's pushing the carts back into the store. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And then I idle forward maybe half a foot. And then to my right, I notice there's an old lady with a cart, and she's waiting for my car to stop to go. So I stopped. And by the way, she wasn't like going, and then I idled forward, and then she was like, hey,
I get it.
She was just, she was there. So I said, yeah, come on. Like I was smile, did the hand gesture. This fucking lady starts shaking her head and giving me the devil stare.
What?
As if I hit her 6 kids or something.
And I'm like, that's expectational privilege.
Oh, dude, man, that's aggressive. See, I called her a fucking retard. What you just said was way more professional. What you said was, I would have sounded like a scholar if I said that. All I'm saying is, you fucking retard, and it just went on driving.
No. And I mean, there's so many ways to look at that shit, dude. There's so many ways. Like, unless it was raining and snowing and, people trying to get home and shit, like, she could have just chilled out a little bit. But then again, that idea of, we won't say woman or man.
She's upset because she wanted to be a dancer when she was a girl.
Oh my God.
She works at Home Depot now. She has to work through her retirement because her kids
somebody's got to
didn't
do the plant section. Come
yeah,
on,
like it's not my fault, Sarah. It's really not my fault.
Yeah, no, and it's given. It's given. She's probably on Tinder right now. So
no, this was like a 70s old lady. But dude, she had Beats headphones on. I'm like, this lady's rocking
back to
out.
my first statement.
Yeah, my fault, man, my fault.
What are you doing with Beats headphone at 70 if you're not on Tinder? I don't know. Correlations. Yeah, no, that's definitely a weird one. Did she? Well, I guess that's. She was
died
going
of a
into
heart attack
Target.
a day later. Like that's what she did.
Calm down.
And if she did, if I heard about the funeral, I'd drive by there, and I would purposely park my car too close to other people's cars,
and then just go like an inch back and forth each time.
That's it. By the way, that's another thing that blows my mind. And I don't know if you see. I'm really anal about this, so not everyone feels the same way about me. If the parking lot's pretty full, I'll park far away from the store where there's no cars around me. And dude, without missing a beat,
somebody finds you and parks next to you.
The second I close my door, a helicopter lands on it. There's 2 tanks. There's a fucking Russian missile ready to hit. It's unbelievable the times this happens.
Yeah, no, you know what's the crazy one? You ready for what I think it's the craziest one? I used to tell my wife this because it happened a lot. Going into the bathroom and using the standing urinal, and there's maybe 10 of them, and you're there, and some fucking reason why a guy walks in and decides to stand.
That's the classic.
Too close.
Yeah, that's the classic.
It happens. Why?
That is a classic one, and I think
It happens with the cars, which I thought I was being stalked as well. I'm like, yo, I parked way over my. She said, why are you parked so far? I'm like, because watch this. And then like 10 people parked next to me. Like, come on, why are you doing that? There's parking spots everywhere else. Why are you
with the urinal thing? I think that's just showing the growing lack of father figures in America's society.
Man, go up. There was one time in my life, it only happened once, where I literally had to tell the dude, "You are too close, my guy."
Did you have the wall divider there, or was there no divider?
It was, but it's the short one. It was the short one. So I don't know what genius invented that, but they were definitely having a laugh. And I'm aiming for the blue shell, and this guy's just like 1.5 or one space down. I'm like, come on, man. There's like 5 of them, and that's, oh, I'm so sorry. So you knew you did it. So you knew you did it. You knew you did it. You didn't say, what are you talking about? You immediately jumped and said you were sorry. You're guilty. Get out of here.
I've never seen a black astronaut's penis before, and I just thought this was my only opportunity to do so. I have to, after this episode, I'll send you a video on Instagram. It's one of my favorite YouTubers, Ryan George. He has a video about like how the people created, like how the bathroom doors work. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I did not need to have that experience, but here we are in life meeting strangers in strange ways.
Yeah, and it goes back to going back to the variables and everything. It's I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. Or I'm not on a Mensa level of my IQ or whatever it's called. So, yeah, I understand to a degree. I'm sure, like enough is out there where even someone as not bright as me knows that certain drugs, nicotine and heroin and all that will have an addictive
property.
Yeah,
right.
property. Yeah. But I don't understand, like, how could you relate something like that to, gambling addiction? Like, there's no substance going in. Now the thing is that whole dopamine thing, but it's like, well, that's the person.
Well, that's how they made the connection, because everyone has that chemical. So it's about what does your senses interpret the best feeling or the best way to get to that sense or get to that emotion or get to that feeling, or to get to that result, So if it's watching porn, boom, there it is. If it's driving real fast in traffic, it's always some kind of excess that possibly borderlines on toxic, right? And that's why it's a quote unquote dopamine, like the negative connotation with, because dopamine's good. When you're hungry, when you're thirsty, when you want to say nice words, when you want to be happy and get a hug, like all those are the same returns. But when it's digitized and or it's toxic, then it's like, you shouldn't do that. But man, it feels so good. I'm not doing anything. It's them. They're, So I just look at the data. I like studying people and our habits and the idea of what the hell we're doing here on this planet. But it's like a macro view, there's no, to break it down any further or to go down. It's cultural, it's preferences, it's geographic, it's male or female. Now it's pronoun, it gets too granular if I go further down, and then it becomes too personal, and then I don't care. That's me not liking humans. I don't care about your problems. I don't care if you can't do something. I don't care if you don't like something. All that is your problem. What I really care about, or I don't even care about your opinion about me, more importantly, what I do care about is that if you're here to better yourself and or the people around you in some legitimate way. It doesn't have to be, the greatest thing, but if it's like helping an old lady cross the street, like something being trained to you, or if it's managing your life a little bit better, or stop doing an addictive property or habit, that's good enough, at least for now. But I don't need your opinion, dude. Like, I came to this country with very little and I still feel like I'm nothing. So I don't need anybody's opinion to tell me anything, but I would hate to feel like if I'm trying, somebody's trying to stop me, so I don't care,
Yeah, dude, because Dopamine, like you said, is a good thing. You're right because listen, porn. It's something I have been for a while trying to stop watching less of. You know what I mean?
Why?
But there's people out there trying to ban it more or ban it completely or boycott it, stop it. And it's just like, dude, listen, if I can't stop jerking off to porn,
Right.
that's not some marketing assistant at redtube.com's fault. That's my fault.
Listen,
That's me.
Yeah, and I would definitely be on that in that same boat with you. I don't ever believe I'll stop because it's not something I feel is wrong. I think there's a toxic side of it that's getting exposed that people are focusing on or harping on and using it to kind of pinpoint some aspects in reality that may or may not be true in regards of like how relationships are established or continue. You know, like, so if you're a dude that grew up on thinking women are supposed to be that way based on porn, and then you go out into the real world and you meet a woman predominantly and she's not like that, then that statistic is true. But what if you meet girls who are like that, generationally speaking? You know, girls who are just like DTF or necessarily don't care, you know, like, then what? Am I wrong? Is my porn wrong? It's really ratio, you know, like, maybe that's why there's so many damn titles in porn. Like they're they're showing you different ways to get at it. Like, I don't know, man. I think the toxic side is bad, but there's no way to say, like, as a man, what would not be better for me to find a way to satisfy myself than it is to try to go out there and use a woman just for that sake. You know,
I'll say this, man. Most of the porn I watch is with real people. Most. Those are real people. I don't give a fuck. Those are real people. That's just really happening. Those positions have names. There's a Kama Sutra book or whatever called on it. That shit. So there are real women and guys out there who do that shit. So if you and you can like if that's your thing,
and even if they're acting, they still have to do the work.
Yeah,
like,
they
you can
do
act like it's good,
shit.
but he's still gonna fuck you. You know, like, it's still gonna happen. You know, like, so
it's the
I don't know,
dude. It's very few people that ruin it for everyone else. That's just like it's
and it's the few people with the voice. So there's, to me, again, it's that level of exposure. Like, if they get enough of a platform, then you can hear them. Other than that, they not saying nothing.
Well, I want to say one other thing. Because just think about it this way. Like you said, dopamine. We kind of know about it now because, you know, the science or blah blah, the studies, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, it's out there.
The data.
Yeah, the data. But dude, in cavemen times, a cave guy would get a dopamine rush because he probably smell a cave woman from 50 yards away.
Word.
But you're not going to ban
fresh water.
You're not going to ban that, dude. Like, it just,
no.
Silly.
You're going to aim for that, and that's it. You know what it is? Well, I don't know what it is either. I'm just like you. Like, I like to read, but I assume nothing because, you know, everything is, shit can change. Hell, anything can change. But long story short, that's how they kind of they use that day being science, or how it's defined in humans' observational the idea of dopamine is natural. Yeah, that's a scientific word for whoever the fuck, whatever. Those guys. But long story short, you know, I fully agree. I think, like, it's something natural to want these feelings or to have these feelings, but it's something completely not working, or I use the word toxic, but even that has a negative energy to it. It's something not healthy when we either put it in the wrong place or do it too often. Like, you can't say driving is bad if you need your car every day for work, but there's 365 days in the year, and more than half of that you intentionally get in your car and drive. So is that bad? Is that bad?
There's just so many laws, dude. There's so many, and laws never get taken away. There's never a law that's taken away. However, there's always laws added, and it's just another thing that you're not allowed to do. Yeah. And it really sucks. Dude, there's a law called the Mann Act where I
heard about that.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
All right,
Tell me more.
I'm not like a historian on this, but what I perceived, and you can just, I can Google it right now, but
yeah,
basically, if you transport a woman, you know, if you drive her across state lines so she can have sex with another guy or whatever, you guys are in trouble. You're not allowed to do that.
Wait. So if like a
And it's
threesome,
I think it's a federal offense too.
so a threesome is what you mean. So if you and your lady go to do a threesome in another state, and what are these states?
I'll read it.
Who doesn't? Let's
I think
not
no, it's
move
a
there.
federal law. So it's
a federal law.
The
It's
Mann
every
Act,
state.
also known as the White Slave Trafficked Act of 1910, because it dealt with a black boxer. He was having a bunch of women come in from other states, and he was fucking their brains out. And there, obviously there were some people, probably Caucasian, upset with him. I don't think they were Asian. I think they were white.
I heard about this.
Okay, is a federal law that criminalizes the transportation of any woman or girl for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery, aka sex, or
debauchery.
for any other immoral purpose. This is a federal law.
So
today
who's defining
on the books.
immoral? Right.
The courts. The court, dude. R. Kelly, when he got busted the other day, one of the things on the books he got busted for. Apparently, this is my buddy Brandon. He told us. So I'm just going by what people say. This law?
I don't know.
Meaning this law is still on the books.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I don't know anything about it. I'm as lost as you are as reading it.
Here we go. While the Mann Act has never been repealed, so it's never been repealed, which is insane. It has been amended and altered since its initial passing. The okay, see, this is why I have to read more. The Mann Act, but the fact that, by the way, the Mann Act continued essentially unchanged until 1978.
Okay, because I was like, it sucks for a pimp, man, especially in the 70s. Ugh.
Wait, now it says though until 1978 amendments that expanded. Coverage to issues around child pornography and exploitation.
There's the added feature you said.
Yeah, did it not take away the other stuff? If I meet a girl,
it's what you said. What you said, they amended it, quote unquote, means like put a pause in this section, put out white out, and then added the extra stuff. So that's
but is the other stuff now doesn't count? Like say me and you are hanging out, right? We're in
Texas.
My geography's terrible. Let's say we're in Vermont.
All right.
And you meet a girl on Tinder, but she's in New Hampshire, and I drive to pick her up and bring her back to Vermont. Like, are we still now in trouble for this law?
I think it was, and see, that's how I'm trying to understand what you're saying is that I thought it was if her and I were together and we went to you in another state, and she did something with you.
Yeah, see, and this is another thing.
Because I brought her there, that's the problem.
This is another thing that sucks. And this is, I still think this is a self-responsibility issue. It's like people who are upset.
Well, you remember what you said it was based on. It was targeting this black boxer who was apparently taking these girls, these white women, with him on tour to state. And because they were his hoes, and he was fucking them from state to state, and maybe one of them was somebody's daughter, and he got a little bit upset about it because now he can't sleep with his daughter. The boxer has her. Yeah, he now says, we'll just put like these make-believe laws around these invisible borders to tell him that if we catch him, so if my cousin catches him in the other state, because they all own things together, then you let me know, and then we'll go ahead and just put him in prison.
Yeah,
we'll both take our daughters back and finish what we were doing.
When I say this is like a self-responsibility thing, I mean it in terms like when people say, I didn't know that was in this. It's like, well, you should have read the ingredients, where it's like two things. The fact that law, like at least in this country, criminal law, it's literally a different language. It's like Spanish. So I don't understand this. And self-responsibility, I should look into the American law system way more, but it really is a different language. The fact that judges are pleading to people you better get a fucking lawyer if you're going to go to trial.
Yeah,
it's like, what? Why can't I also understand? Why is it so hard to learn
they have
law?
Court-appointed attorneys. You can have that, and they're free in that sense. But it's, I don't know. I wouldn't have the best answer. I try to understand it.
It doesn't seem right though. Like something that's so important that you would think you would want every American adult to know. is something that very few know, and the people that do know charge you an arm and a leg. It's like, it looks like I'm getting $200 an hour. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, we are diverse. This nation was definitely built on the sense of come one, come all. So no one really said, all right, well, on top of that, you only have to go this way. Like, there's something called the American way, but it's different from me and you. If yours is a mansion and a 6-figure income and, land, stock, and guns, and, if that's your American way and mine is just what it is, it's something different, then who's to say we're right? I guess if you kill me first or I kill you first, but then that's what makes it the American. There's no given one path other than what do they say, true rights and justice for all. I don't know. Last time I've said the anthem, but you get it.
I don't know, dude. But I remember when I was talking to Jem, my old co-host, and our buddy Adindro, and I was saying, like, no matter everything you do in America is the American way. Like, we're American. We're in America. Like, right. No matter
it's the freedom to do whatever you want.
Anything you do here, it's like, oh, well, that side's not America. Of course they are. They're part of it. They're right there. They're in the country. They're American citizens. They are part of America. It's the American way.
Well, when the borders opened up, as history speaks of it, the biggest thing was the entrepreneurs. If you came to the shores or the shores of New York from Italy or wherever you were from, if you were an immigrant or a refugee or anything like that coming from Ukraine, wherever, in those early days, you could start up a business and, quote unquote, make a family and make a man out of yourself over time. It was just like bootstrap labor, bootstrap work, hard work, getting results. And we, as a country, still have that sense of support to the entrepreneurial mindset. Now, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, people who want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't realize the work because entrepreneur is now like a buzzword. Everybody wants to say that. They put it on their friggin' social media title. But if you ask them what's it like working really as an entrepreneur, if they don't tell you it sucks, if they don't tell you it's putting out fires, if they don't tell you it's a lonely road, then they might not be doing it right, because it really takes a sense of knowing that you're in a place where you're left to the work is by your hands only, and in that sense of being an American, you can do what you want. You can do from your own work. But what are you crying? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, you heard me? Oh, dude, you know what I did? I muted my mic so I can get this big cough out.
Oh, okay.
And then I forgot. It's like, wait.
I was like, what is this guy?
Dude, I was like, wait, is he talking to me? And I'm like, oh, wait, just because I muted the OBS recording doesn't mean fucking you can't hear me. I'm over here, man, like, oh,
I don't know. My
so
tangent
true.
was that we have our choices based on our laws, and the idea behind our laws is to do your best based on your own hard work. And now that we can come together and get loans from banks and possibly get support from, again, social media and get attention to build a real business out of yourself, the biggest thing is, are you ready to do the work? Because no matter how great America is, for you to get anywhere, it's fucking work. It's work. Yeah,
I'm so in the middle with that because.
Tell me.
Yeah, because if that's something you want to do, then like go for it, man. Definitely go for it. But there are so many people who I think it's almost like they get sold a bill of goods where they think they want to do that. Where it's just like, dude, you really don't like. We in America, we fall so easily into greed because the main purposes of being a human are given to us. Like, it's so easy to get food, water, shelter.
Yeah, we have abundance.
We have abundance. So then we have
abundance comes greed is easy to show up there. Yeah.
Exactly. And then we have to create our own purpose. And then we just fall into this trap of greed. We want to grow our financial wealth. Now to be fair, it's because it's almost impossible to do anything that you might want to do without some sort of cash flow. If you want to do skydiving, you're going to probably need money.
Right.
If you want to tour the country, you're probably going to need at least some cash. But if you don't want to have that grind, if you don't want to do the whole like working 60, 70, 80, like you don't have to do it, man. And you don't have to put that pressure on your shoulders. Just, take a step back, take a breather, and really, try to really figure out what you truly, like doing, and do that.
Yeah, but it's still gonna take work, bro. Like it may not be hard work, right? If we put the word, or difficult, not hard, because I'm a nerd and hard is a substance. So difficult work in front of it, then whether it's difficult work or not so difficult work, at the end of the day, unless you're really, right, I don't know, I'm making fun here. So unless you're a Kardashian, which might takes work too, you can't just sit around looking what's said to be attractive and make money. Like, again, even that's subjective. Like, anything you want, even if you say like, okay, I'm a grocery stock boy and I really want to be a professional fighter. Okay, you can't punch these grocery carts or these people or these grocery bags, but you actually have to get in the gym. So there's a discipline that's needed where you need to work and need to work out. All of that is still work. And then you might realize, okay, you know what, for me to really get the time freedom I need to become a manager at this job. So now I might have to cut some of my workout time for this work to invest in a little bit more of the knowledge. So when I am a manager, I can cut my hours in half, and then boom, now I can do more time in the gym. But quote unquote, however long that takes, are you still going to be an athlete? Are you still going to be capable of making whatever goal it is? Let's say you wanted to just participate in 5 fights. Those 5 fights might take you 5 years because you decided to, focus on that management position. Like, hypothetical, like even that might be an easier path because you know what you want and you can build a family around that. You can do whatever you want. You can build a budget. It's still going to take work. But if you're just like, yo, I'm going for the top by the end of the year. I only make $20,000 right now, but by the end of the year, I'm having a 6-figure income. All right, well, that's going to take some fucking work because you're only making 20 right now and you want 6-figure in the next 12 months. Woo! Good luck, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, that's going to take a little bit of work.
That's going to take 60 hours at least. At least. And then, what are you sacrificing to do that? So it's work either way. It's either just difficult work or not so difficult work. But you're right. You shouldn't let there be a pressure, like a societal pressure to perform or to be the best or some generational shit. My dad was this, and so now I got to be this, or my mom's expecting me to be great. Like, in a loving way, fuck your parents. Like, they shouldn't define who you want to be more than quote unquote be a guide to that. But if they're like if they're putting money in your pockets and or telling you what to do, then you have the problem. It's not even them. They're just enabling you. Again, they're just liking it because you keep posting it. You keep asking them for money. You keep asking them for help. Help your fucking self. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I always find it interesting looking at everyone's situation as an individual, because a lot of people they always give blanket statements. Even before the internet, people who wrote books, they kind of just like give a blanket statement because it's easier to do that, because you're gonna just throw this big net and try to catch as many fish as you can. So, you'll get people that go, listen, man, if your hobby is the thing you love doing, drop everything else and you focus right on that. Unplug yourself from the dialysis machine. Get out of that wheelchair. And it's like, dude.
And buy my book and buy my seminar to let me teach you how to do it.
It's dude, that's not every single person can fucking just drop everything they're doing. So it's such an easy answer. But then there is also like people on the other side where it's like, hey man, I worked for 50 years doing this, like that's what it is. You just gotta work a job you hate. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have to do that. You really, really don't. Just because, and here's the thing, it's a misery likes company thing. Just because you ruined your life and you're still alive, so you can turn it around, doesn't mean your kids or your kids' friends or whatever have to do the same exact thing.
What's weird? It's you're so right, and it got me thinking. It's like there's a sense of being comfortable with the uncomfortable, to kind of learning to get through the difficulties or be one with the difficulties and still find joy in that or acceptance in that. And it's almost like, man, I'm so nasty. I was thinking of like being constipated and then having the release of shitting, but it's more like it's more like you're going through this tense moment, and there's
I really gotta take a shit, but I can't.
There's nothing you can do other than address it for what the fuck it is. It's right now. It's right here, and there's a other side of it that you're just like dying for. And if it's a goal, if it's a bowel movement, if it's a girl or a relationship, like, there's a sense of where you don't know what the fuck's going on, but you just keep swimming. And some people or some of us might prolong that too much, that uncomfortable state, because if you're not aware of what the fuck's going on, you might just keep doing it to yourself, putting that monkey on your back, or going through those problems, or what do they say? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Oh, God, I watch so much sports that I hate that term. I hate when people say that now. Because they say that all as if like fucking junior psychologist over here. It's like you have a borderline journalist degree. Like, shut the fuck up.
Well, yeah, no, and I have nothing. I mean, I do have a degree, but not a journalist degree.
It's unreal.
But I don't know, bro. It's so fun sometimes to just really think about what's going on. Like, personally, the new year for me is all about growth, like it should be every year, but it's every day's a fucking new year. Who says anything about these Gregorian calendars? Like, it's a system based on some man looking in a sky, interpreting stars, like, what? Who cares? So every day is your day. It's not January 1st or December 31st or whatever. It's just today. Now, you can do whatever you want to with it. That's the difference. But with knowing that it's yours, that is the most powerful space to be in, because then you can decide, do I pick up my phone and then do I associate with that space? Do I go to work and listen to sports? Do I talk about Becky, or do I run into this lady in the fucking grocery store? Do I go in the speeding lane and then experience these assholes? Do I, like, it's you every time going through these moments. And every day you have that opportunity or the privilege of being there with yourself every time.
I didn't like your blackness saying the word privilege that way to my whiteness. I felt very uncomfortable. I was like, I instantly went, I'm gonna have to get a podium.
That's why that pause was there, because the only other word I can think of is grand opportunity.
Super uncomfortable.
Grand opportunity. There it is. The grand opportunity to do whatever it is.
I was like, oh fuck, what did I do?
But see, that's the big thing too. That word had no problem until like 2020.
Dude, in my mind, I was like, oh, he must have overheard me when
2020. No.
I was like, you must have overheard me when your mic cut out. And I was like, this astronaut's probably got the best 440 time.
No.
It's got a great vertical leap.
I'm pretty good, man. And okay, so only in that space, I got a thing where I'm trying to be the first American over 40 to participate in World Chase Tag. And World Chase Tag is like this new...
wait. What did you just say? World Chase what?
Tag.
So, like the game that kids play.
TAG, yep, that we used to play.
Yes.
Right? You say kids as if kids are these external beings from us.
Tag.
Right.
I'm looking it up,
So,
but keep going.
Bam, put it up, World Chase Tag. That sport right there, right now, is being exposed by top young athletes in their 20s. And these kids are moving fast as fuck.
Dude.
They're moving fast. All right, go
but
ahead.
You know what they're also doing?
Whoa.
They're being insanely white. The second you
you're in America.
and your nephews take over, it's over.
You're in America.
We're gonna have to do ice tag or something after this.
If you Google that, the first thing that's gonna show up is somebody white. But there's black people in it too. Even the top
white, maybe
the top athletes, the guys who win it, their outfits are black, so there's that.
He's got flames on it. This is like
You
a
know?
white summer camp. This is like
Yeah.
camp in BYU. This is
Yeah. So
crazy.
guess what? I'm trying to drop that 1 ounce or that one drop of intentional blackness with a sense of being over 40 in it.
Yeah, you
So
got this.
there's a division for people who are still capable, but maybe not as
shit.
fast as these 20-year-olds, because that's the thing. These kids are anywhere from 19 to 23, maybe 24, maybe even 27.
Now watch
But
this.
I am 41, gonna be 42 this year. So maybe by the time I participate, I'll be 42, but I'm still at least a decade away from being capable of their speed, and or they're still decades away from being capable of what I'm doing.
Oh, there's a lot
so
of
there's-
hot Asian cheerleaders with this
Ooh,
thing. Wow.
Please,
Holy,
please,
yeah,
please.
Jeez, this
You
Filipino
guys,
girl.
you guys don't even need to look over here. Yeah,
Holy shit.
leave them to their hours. Leave them. They support us.
Oh yeah, see, you're already saying the wrong things as a black athlete going into a white. They're ours. Oh, dude, there's gonna be the tag act of 2023. Like, it's over.
Nobody cares about me, dude. Trust. I've been out here grinding, just having fun.
This is
and
cool though. This is like parkour and skateboarding without the skateboard.
pretty much. And the intense
this.
ability to try to have 20 seconds to tag somebody is really fun. And I fell in love with it years ago when I found out about it, and right now there's a buzz about it, and I want to, contribute what I can and what I believe is important to it. But that is probably the only thing in relation to like having that biggest joy, or having that one thing that is here that keeps us connected, that I like doing. But we all have to find our own way of doing whatever it is that we like, and then put in the work into that. Like for me to do what I'm doing takes me running, takes me training, takes me lifting weights, resting, eating well, and then still having a toxic side that I balance with, so I might drink here and there. I mentioned that I smoke cannabis, like I smoke weed. So I don't feel like I should have to change more than find a way to be the best I can be at it. The change comes from being the best, not because like, oh, well, I shouldn't do that. Like I don't drink anymore. That's 100%. But the smoking has not stopped.
Have you tried doing, say, edibles? Because I feel now, again, I don't know much about things, but I would assume that the edibles would be healthier for you because you're not having any smoke at all go into your lungs, so you're not damaging your lungs that way.
Right.
So
I considered that, but with my I've tried edibles. I make it a conscious choice not to try to choose one or the other for the choice of getting high. Smoking, rolling, and breaking, and to me is a ritual that I enjoy. So whatever that means to me, I'm gonna do that until.
By the way, CP,
or just period.
I'm gonna call you CP if that's cool. Are you cool with that? No?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I don't
I'm
like
cool
this.
with it.
I don't like this. I'm feeling so.
What do you mean?
You're like,
CP or Cosmo? I don't know. Your CPO. There you go. CP Cosmo.
All right, I'll call you Cosmo. How about Cosmo?
Yeah, CP.
All right, dude.
Cosmo,
I'm
boom.
looking at these kids play this tag right now.
Yeah.
They're all smoking weed. They're all like, dude, these are the most weed-looking smokers of all time.
Of course. There was a group called THC. They didn't go too far because I guess, pun intended, they might have smoked too much THC. But they no, the weed is, that's what I mean. Like you have a generation of children growing up, especially from Colorado and California, where their parents might have been nudists. Like they're not your traditional kids. So to have support for them, or to at least find a way for them to feel like they can live their life, this is it. This is how they share
it's
that.
Cool, and I think I've seen this before actually, but now I'm watching videos more because, like, it got brought up here. It's funny how things like certain things just take off because, are you familiar with? I think it's rollerball or whatever, the one where you're skating in a circle and you're trying to like knock the
Yep.
opponents. It's that kind of, it doesn't even seem like that ever took off like this. And that's been around for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And now I remember I was watching. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm trying to watch every now and then before a football game or something. I'll put on, say, ESPN. And they have these drone racing competitions where you're flying drones that have gamer lights on them. And I love the idea, but it's just not, it's hard to like watch it from TV. It's like all I see are these like 6 little LED lights going through hoops.
So in your dad's generation, we used to have RC cars where you connect these railroads together and then you press this trigger style gun handle and then it zooms in a circle.
Hey, listen, it slots.
And that was the fad of life.
Yes.
Okay.
You're right. You're right. 100%.
So to now have them flying, and then there was the idea of these nerd kids, because it was definitely a niche market where they will invent or reinvent their RC trucks and turn them into these demolish style
battle bots.
things with axes
and
battle bots. Right. So you getting my point. And that's exactly, and that to me was cool, but I mean, that's a niche. I couldn't go out in the street and be like, "Yo, you got a paddle bot?" I'd probably get beat up. so it's so different, man. Now, you know. No. You better be only playing basketball if you're playing battle bot. And I mean, it wasn't that direct, but it definitely didn't have its space. You know, you couldn't go out freely thinking you could just enjoy what you enjoyed and have support or. And kids we're cruel, man. If you weren't a cruel kid, that means you just got picked on. You were either a cruel kid or you got picked on. There was really, especially in the 90s and, late 80s and hell, even now. I don't know. I don't know what it's like, but you must have got picked on or you picked on somebody at some point in your time growing up.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting old, man. I am so out of touch with what kids and teenagers are into. Dude, I'm done. I'm old. I know I'm old because I'll watch a YouTube video and I know it's supposed to be a comedy video. It's supposed to be like a 14-second comedy video. And I'll watch it and I'll be like, at the end of it, I'll go, I'm fucking old, man. I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. And I mean, maybe that's okay. Maybe it's not supposed to make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for them, and when we were here or when you were here doing your thing, then that's what it was. Let me see, so go back to Google and type in
BattleBot tag.
I was gonna, all right. It's probably, I wanted to show you some of my videos, but it's all right. Time will show. That's
all good. By the way, you're an author too, right? I was reading that on your Instagram bio.
Yeah, in 2020, I finalized a book I've been working on that was kind of like a self-made journal style book that it basically consists of a lot of positive affirmations and notes and conversations around being what I call cosmic, and it's called 100 Ways to Be Cosmic. You can get it on Amazon, and so it's like a book and journey, a book and journal for life.
You get a signed copy? I thought we were close now. 100 ways
bro. You can get a signed copy.
I'm just fucking with you,
Becoming
man.
Cosmic and learning the path to a higher self in your own journey.
Oh, you got your real name on here too.
It's me. Books are, I don't know, books are hard to write. I can't say that I'm going to turn around and write another one. But this is like a life journey up until now.
Because this looks really cool. Man. I love that. That is a really, really beautiful looking cover. I'm not fucking around. I'm being dead serious.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and thank you. I could only say that, it was given from the cosmos, like it was an energy thing. I sat here.
You ruined
I don't know, because I did my research. I don't know. I did my research. I looked in, but it wasn't really hard work. It was just alignment. and the photo was there, and it's perfect. It's perfect. So thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I read it every day, or I read from it. I used to talk about it a lot on my podcast. That I've moved into a different space with that whole audio conversation. But this continues to be a life. It's almost like a what I would say is like a list or a pillar of conversations for me. I say positive affirmations, but it's like having a best friend. That's why I call it a learning and a tool for becoming cosmic, because it's not just human nature. It's like a meditative thought. And like, check your ego is one of the 100 ways to be cosmic. Work on yourself, shift your cosmic mind, accept others for who they are. I live by them as much as I can every day. I'm not perfect. I hope I never become perfect, but the striving of it is fun.
Yeah, I'm reading the back cover. It says 100 ways to be cosmic, an everyday book and journal that helps to enlighten you, the individual. Like how, to the path of the cosmic self. Like, what do you, like, how does someone, it's kind of easy to say, be a better person, but like, how do you enlighten? Yeah. Like, can you go in a little bit in detail on that?
Yeah, just a little bit. So enlightenment comes from the sense of self-awareness. Enlighten, it's to turn the light on in yourself. So what does that feel like? Obviously, not even you don't need science for this. To turn the light on in yourself just sounds and feels good. So how can you work on being good in your everyday practice? So it's a book that helps you every day to turn that light on in yourself. So if you feel bad looking at your phone early morning or first thing in the morning, how about you spend 5 minutes not looking at your phone? So you're working on turning on that light. And you as the individual, it doesn't have to be something you share or ask someone to hold you accountable. It's something you can work on as a self-discipline, and that's how it becomes a path. And then it's a self you're working towards. It's not, it's this way of looking at yourself inward, walking towards yourself inwardly. Does that make any sense? I mean, it made sense to me, but
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What?
Yeah, it's just turning that light on, man. If it's religious or not, or spiritual or not, you're just going in and looking to be better each day. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I think, man. No matter
I give
what.
you 100 ways to do it, and that's it.
Yeah, like whether you're religious, not religious, in between, any spiritual, not spiritual, like you can find some sort of inner peace. And a lot of people who get angry at others, it's because they're genuinely, I think that's the way you say it. I'm illiterate, dude.
Genuinely, I'm not sure.
They're unhappy with themselves on the inside. They're not unhappy with you. And that's something I have to get better with myself, is not taking things personally. It's like they're not upset with me. They're mainly upset with themselves, and I'm just.
That's that book. That book is the 4 Agreements.
Oh,
is that the 4 Agreements? Yeah,
I've heard about that book.
It's either the 4 Agreements or something like that.
No, the 4 Agreements. I forget what they are.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely the idea of not taking things personally, even though you are a person. Isn't that weird that word person is in it, but yet I'm not supposed to take it to me. I'm not supposed to make it mean towards my feelings.
Yeah, here the 4 Agreements: be impeccable with your word. So I think that means like when you say something, you're being honest. Don't take anything personally. Obviously. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best.
Yeah. Right. And those are back to like what you were asking on the back of my book. Those are general terms. What do you mean, do my best? What if I'm like a serial killer? Then
you better be the Jeffrey Dahmer of serial killers.
What I mean? So it's the idea of thinking that the way that this information is coming to you, it's quote unquote coming to you in a good space, or asking you to go into a good space to receive it, and then turn around in a way to apply it. And that's it. Can't take it personal. You're 100% right.
It's like the George Carlin joke where it's like self-help books. If you had enough foresight to go buy a self-help book,
right?
Then you're already helping yourself. You don't need the fucking book. Throw that fucking thing out of there. Like, you know, it's
Let's
true.
save a tree. Why don't you? Yeah, no, and that's probably why it's only 4 agreements, right? Because we can't get past probably one, the idea of getting the book to tell us something that we're already intentionally doing. You know, like where's the common sense in that? But here we are. There's tons of books in the world already, and many more to come. And people need to be best-selling authors on Amazon.
Well, here's the thing, though. A few weeks ago, I had another guest on. Her name was Rebecca L. Norrington. She was a really, really cool chick. Anyone can listen back to the episode. I think it's number 2, and she's a happiness, like helper expert. I forget the exact term, but the lying got brought up. You know, lying, and she goes, well, and I'm paraphrasing. Again, you can go back to listen to this, but she was talking about how it's like, well, here's the thing: you see lying as a negative, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative. And I'm like, really? Like, how so? She goes, well, and she brought up an example. If I'm in a conversation and the person I'm talking to is a Republican, I'm a Republican. If I'm in a conversation and the person I'm talking to is a Democrat, I'm a Democrat. It's just,
I see.
You can use it to make the situation you're in easier. And it's like, I get what she's saying, but I still, even since the talk I had with her, I do see, like, you know, when you lie, it just seems... My thought process is when I lie, I believe that I'm unhappy with myself, that I don't even want people I'm talking to know the truth about me.
I see.
That's how I perceive lying. And I think she was trying to say how, well, you know, try to break out of that thought and see how lying can also be a positive in your life.
Yeah, I mean, my input on that would be that it's both sides. Lying is a positive and negative in that sense, where you are using it to hide a sense of who you are from the parties given, you know, but then you're also protecting a sense of who you don't know who you are, you know. So if you have a habit of, back to what we talk about, masturbating, right? You're not gonna go out to the world be like, hey guys, I jacked off today, woohoo, you know, because that's not, you know, depending on the crowd.
Yeah,
who
depending
cares?
on the crowd.
Right. And you're not lying, you know, but if someone comes up, if a preacher and the president and a nun comes up to you and says, hey, Jamie, so let me look at your palms. Did you masturbate this morning? You're not going to be like, Father, let me tell you about it. No, you're probably going to be like, no. Lie.
If it was a priest, I'd probably joke and be like, yeah, but like, yeah, if my mom or dad walked up to me like that,
I'd be like, your parents.
What the yeah, I get it.
I just didn't want to make it too personal, but yeah, if it's your mom, like Jamie,
stop.
Listen, even right. So you know, that's my point. Like, to me, it's both sides. Like, lying is not healthy, but it doesn't mean you go around not telling everybody everything about yourself. So lying is not healthy, but it doesn't mean you go around telling them, because the self that you are also can change. Maybe you stop being an asshole, so you don't tell everybody you're an asshole, or you stop watching porn, and so you don't tell everybody because it didn't even matter to begin with. Now that you no longer do it, I think she's right, but it's also a sense of like, okay, back to a woman and a man when they're greeting each other or meeting each other. Some men, predominantly, we are aggressive. And it doesn't mean physically aggressive. We could just be aggressive in our nature of how we approach something, approach the woman. Some women don't like that, and some women see that as a threat. So what do you do there? I wasn't lying when I said you look good in that dress or your outfit looks nice on you. But if she's like, well, you just offended me, or I felt attacked, or whatever, where do you go there? And I don't know if that's too much of a drastic example, but to me, I'm not lying if I say you look good.
No, I think that actually goes back to the example of there's a dependent and independent variable. The independent variable is what you're saying. The dependent is the person's reaction, where some women are going to
Right.
be appreciative, especially if, you're attractive and you're driving up with a Ferrari. They're like, holy shit, I'm about to have a kid and take half this guy's shit. But there are some girls who are prudes, and
I tell my wife she looks good, and if she wears something particular, I'm like, I like you. I like the way you're looking at. She may take it in two different ways. She may say thank you, or she may like, okay, as if I know because that's why I put it on, but not to disrespect your compliment to me, but it's also a way of understanding what it all means. Again, she's not a stranger to me, but if I use that same compliment to a stranger, then of course there's going to come a possible different outcome because we don't know each other. So you don't know where I'm coming from with it,
Yeah, and going back to the lying thing, lions. So going back to lines, going back to lying, it's, I get it. I really do, because, I don't think there's a lot of people that are like, you just gotta be honest. You always gotta, my word is solid. And it's like, dude, I don't think I'm going to be 80 years old and look and reflect and go, I really wish I talked about jerking off with my mother a lot more than I did. Man, looking back, I really could have opened
saying
up.
That is still cringeworthy.
Yeah,
I can't even help you complete that sentence.
It's bullshit, dude. That's the thing. It's just bullshit. Like, everything's way too many extremes, man. It doesn't have to be that way. There could be a middle ground.
Yeah, and that
Talk
to
about
me
jerking
is
off with your dad.
There you go. If he's around, because there's the idea of that. There's the subjectivity of having a dad but not really having a father, or vice versa. So like being able to talk to another guy about your dick is not necessarily as easy as saying, "Hey, dad, left or right hand."
Oh,
it's or both. Like it's really finding that level of comfortability, if that's a word. I don't know. It sounded cool. But just like putting yourself in that vulnerable space, but then knowing you're talking to someone that quote unquote loves you unconditionally.
Gotcha. I'll tell you this much, and this might be the gayest thing I've ever said. I really love this episode unconditionally.
Yeah.
This is really cool, man. I appreciate you, Cosmo, coming on.
Yeah, no, Jamie, thank you so much, man. I really a JD.
I knew you. I went for it, and I fell flat on my face. I was like, let me call him CP. We're cool, right? Nope.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. And like I said, we have established the realms of at least of virtual friendship, because you took the intentional reach out. I said yes, and here we are talking for however long we've been talking now. And the beauty of it is that we still don't hate each other.
Down the road you will, but yes, this has been real cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, JD. Like, I appreciate the time and space. Happy Monday to you once again, and to all the listeners and people who decide to come into this space. Thank you. You could be doing something else, I'm sure. Who gives a fuck? But JD is here, and he's offering you this opportunity to listen. So thanks for listening.
Word, man. I like that. Thank you.
Word, man.